Yokozo! It is me, Tokkuri Yashi, your country friend. How is everyone doing? I hope you're well. And today we will be looking at Summer Pecorine, who is one of the 4 characters you can get from this summer returning banner on the JP version of Princess Connect. I have said she's probably the 3rd, in my opinion, the 3rd most valuable character on this banner. Although, difference in value between her and Summer Carol, either of them could be 2 or 3. It's quite hard to say, but we'll have a look at what Summer Pecorine does and where she sits in the JP meta, and maybe we can decide whether she is 2nd or 3rd, or whether it doesn't really matter either way. But first of all, Summer Pecorine's Union based Princess Splash, which deals large physical damage to all enemies in range, and that range is 600. Summer Peco has got a 6-star ascension, and when she is ascended to 6-star, her Union base becomes Princess Marine Impact, and then it inflicts massive physical damage to all enemies in range. This damage increase is 1.65 times greater than the base Union based, and the range has been increased to 700 from 600. She also increases her physical attack for 18 seconds. The higher the damage dealt by this skill, the higher the physical attack buff will be for Pecorine. Now, this suggests that Pecorine could be used in PvP as a physical AoE unit, which is somewhere that she was definitely used on the global server. But how does she compare to other physical AoE units for damage and for range? Stay tuned, because once we finish looking at Pecorine's skills, I will be comparing a few of the typical AoE physical units that people would be using in PvP and see where Pecorine sits amongst them. There we go. Okay, so her skill 1, Dessert Time, raises her physical attack and reduces her magical defense by 20% for 12 seconds. So maybe if you can avoid magical opponents, it might be wise, but I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. She has a unique equipment, Umbrella Sword, Beach Princess, which increases her TP retain, physical attack and crit rate if you power up the unique equipment, but it also increases the strength of her skill 1 and makes it Dessert Time Plus. You get extra whipped cream, apparently. It then greatly raises her physical attack, which has been boosted by 2.25 times over the original skill, and it boosts her physical crit rate too by 100, so that bit has been added. But it does still lower her magical defense by 20% for 12 seconds. Right, if we have a quick look here at her loop pattern, we will see that the main one, the skill 1, is used a bit more than the skill 2, which is about all you can take from this pattern. It's quite a normal loop pattern, and the skill 1 is used, well, it's used once more than the skill 2 in the pattern, so that's probably better, because if we go and have a little look at skill 2, which is Parasol Assault, that inflicts small physical damage to all enemies in range, and the range on this is only 325, and it knocks back the nearest enemy within that 325 range by 200 spaces. So it's useful, definitely a PvP trait, and is not used quite as much as her skill 1, but that skill 1 is boosting what her damage that she does, so maybe the skill 1 is a little bit more valuable. Her EX skill, Seafood Power. Now, is it seafood like ebi shrimps or taco octopuses, or is it seafood and eat food? With her Pecorine, you can't really tell. Anyway, it's a medium increase to her physical attack, and at 5 stars or above, a large increase to her physical attack. Now there we go, that is Summer Pecorine, a unit that can be used in PvP, but in JP I think is actually used a lot more in clan battle, against boss battles, against multi-target enemies. She's quite versatile and could do both. But where does she sit in PvP? I've compiled this graphic here of all of, or most of, the physical AoE units that you would consider to maybe use in a PvP team. We're comparing only, first of all, we're comparing only the damage from the Union Burst and the range of that damage in the Union Burst. So it's not a complete picture of who is the best, because some of these units have a lot more utility to them and do a lot more on the Union Burst than just damage. So if we have a look at the raw damage stats, Summer Pecorine is number one. She does the most damage from her Union Burst by quite a lot, actually. It is incredible damage. Aoi's number two, but she only does that kind of damage if the target is poisoned when the Union Burst is fired off. Then if you go and have a look at the range, Pecorine and Aoi are two of the ones that are at the bottom there. Pecorine's range of 700 is one of the worst here, and Aoi, unfortunately, at 400 is not very good at all. On the other end of the table, Kaiser and Reno and Naya are all not doing as much damage from their Union Burst, but they hit everybody, so you've got no worries there. What I can take from this is Shinobu is probably looking like one of the best, because her damage is very high, it's high on the list, and her range is very high. And like I said, not to mention she's doing a lot more on the Union Burst than just damage. Physical, defense down, fear, and all sorts of other things on her Union Burst, which make her very, very good for PvP. So, as you can see here, Pecorine's damage is the best, but her range could be a little bit better. All of this information came from Shizuru Notes, which is an app that fans have made and can be downloaded to an Android app from their website. So there we go. Summer Pecorine could still be used in PvP. I definitely use her in PvP on the global server. That 700 range is maybe not the biggest problem, because you could then pair her with somebody like Samumi, who will bunch up the opponents. So there we go. You can work around that range if you really want to build a team that fits her. She's definitely capable of doing huge damage in the PvP setting. So hopefully that was helpful for everybody. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. I am Tokkuri Yashi, your palm tree friend, and I will see you all again for another video. Bye 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 bye. Hey.